If you want to lose weight and keep it off forever, these are the 5 things that you should avoid. I personally learned the hard way and made these mistakes for the first 2 years of my fitness journey. I felt like I was doing everything right, but I still wasn't seeing progress. And once I changed these 5 things, I ultimately was able to create this transformation. If you're making any of these 5 mistakes yourself, I'm going to tell you exactly how you can overcome them and start making results that last. The first mistake is going on a meal plan. Can you really see yourself eating the same 4 meals every single day for the rest of your life? Imagine going out on a date or to a birthday party at dinner, and you either bring your Tupperware or you don't eat. Imagine going to your grandma's house where she makes you lasagna and you have to say no because you can't not have your chicken, rice, and broccoli. You're a human. You're naturally going to crave different foods and different flavors and not just operate like a robot. Being on a meal plan eliminates that kind of flexibility for yourself. This often leaves you feeling really restricted and could potentially lead you to overeating or binging when you actually do get a bite of that lasagna that you've been craving for so long. If how you're eating right now isn't something that you can do for the rest of your life, it's not sustainable and your results won't be either. This is why learning to track your macros, i.e. your proteins, your carbs, and your fat, is such a beneficial tool so that you can truly eat whatever you want and still see results. This is possible because you actually understand what's in the food itself, and then you can pick and choose the foods that fit your specific needs and goals instead of having to eat the same things all of the time. That's when we equate the foods themselves to fat loss instead of understanding how much we need to eat and what foods we can eat in order to get us there. Mistake number 2 is skipping breakfast. Starting your day without a solid meal is a recipe for low energy, higher cravings, and even higher hunger. I used to push my first meal off as late as possible in the day to try and eat as little as possible to stay in my calorie deficit. This led to having low energy and brain fog from not having any fuel during the day. My cravings were through the roof because I was always thinking about food and when my next meal was going to be and what I was going to eat, and being so hungry at the end of the night that I would end up overeating and do the exact same thing the next day. I stayed on this binge restrict roller coaster for over a year and I beat myself up because I had no self-control around food. It's not a discipline issue. It's that your body simply needs food and you're not giving it what it needs. If you weren't so hungry during the day, you wouldn't feel the need to overeat at night. Starting your day with a solid meal of proteins, fats, carbs, and micronutrients provides your body with enough energy to perform at its best at work and in your workouts and all of the other things that you have to do during the day. This also helps to crush cravings and hunger that can happen when we don't properly fuel our bodies first thing. Aim for a breakfast with at least 25 grams of protein to boost satiety and to crush those cravings. Some examples could be a couple of eggs with potatoes and leafy greens, protein oatmeal with nut butter and fruit, or if you're on the go, make a protein smoothie with some Greek yogurt, some fruit, nuts, or seeds. Mistake number 3 is cutting out your favorite foods. When you tell somebody not to push the red button, what is the only thing that person can think of doing?
Pushing the red button.
This is exactly what happens when you tell yourself that you can't eat your favorite things. That's all that you can think about until you cave, and then when you do, you go way too hard. I really like dessert. Chocolate, candy, ice cream, whatever it is, I really enjoy having some sort of sweet treat before I go to bed. In the past, I tried removing all of the sugar from my diet to lose weight, and I ended up scraping the bottom of a half gallon of ice cream about 3 days later. It was all that I could think about, so it was all that I was craving. And once you place something off limits, you want it even more than you did before. So that's exactly what happened to me. Like I mentioned in point number 1, if you can't see yourself eating like this for the rest of your life, it's not sustainable and your results aren't going to be either. If you can't live your life without pizza or without burritos, you shouldn't have to. Enjoy your favorite foods in moderation. Don't be afraid to track a serving of ice cream at night if that's what you want to end your night with. There are also tons of options out there that you can make more macro-friendly versions of that you can eat pretty often. If you want to have a burger, try making a burger with a leaner ground meat and lower fat cheese. If you really like pizza, try making it with a Greek yogurt crust and loading it up with protein and veggies. My favorite places to find recipes are either on TikTok or on Pinterest. What I'll do is I'll type in healthy or high protein and then whatever it is that I'm looking for, and then I'll find a bunch of recipes and I can just modify them as needed. Mistake number 4 is only doing HIIT cardio. HIIT cardio refers to high intensity interval training, which are things like bike sprints or treadmill sprints, or you can even do them on the rowing machine, and it refers to giving all out maximum effort for a period of time, followed by a period of rest. A lot of people think because they're sweating and they're exhausted by the end of the workout that they must be burning a ton of body fat, but that's not inherently true. When we're doing this type of exercise, our heart rate is higher. When our heart rate is higher, our body actually prefers to use carbs as its energy source. Also, due to the nature of HIIT exercise, it is extremely taxing on the body and can lead to inflammation and fatigue. In a dieting phase, we're already under stress from the deficit itself, and doing this style of cardio could cause even more stress on the body, which could slow down results or inhibit our training. Instead, opt for low intensity steady state cardio. This style of cardio is much slower and much less impactful on your body. This means that you can easily do more of it and you can easily recover from it. Also, because your heart rate is lower, your body is going to prefer to use fats as its primary energy source. This can be done on an incline treadmill, a walk, a light jog, whatever method of cardio you prefer. The fat burning sweet spot is 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. To find that for yourself, take 220 and subtract your age, then multiply that by 60 to 70%, and that's your goal. Mistake number 5 is to focus only on fat loss. If you feel like you've been dieting for years and you're just not seeing the results that you want to see, that is probably why. This is the exact loop that I found myself in for so many years, where I was just gaining and losing the same 5 to 10 pounds every single year and never actually looking any different. I was just looking skinny fat. Dieting doesn't actually change the shape of your body. It only changes the size of your body. To change the shape of your body, you have to add muscle tissue, and that's not going to happen in a calorie deficit. You should spend less time in a calorie deficit than you spend at or above maintenance calories, not just for overall health, but also so that you make true improvements in your physique and you can change your body forever. So if you feel like you have been running this loop for months or years, I would take a step back and see how long of those months or years you've actually spent in the calorie deficit. If you have any questions on the 5 mistakes that I touched on today, comment below and let us know. And make sure you subscribe for more videos on how you can stay lean for life.